I am Chris Lewis, your CAW heavyweight champion, undefeated for over a year, and not because of COVID, but because everybody's scared of me. Now you're watching Wrestle Geeks Recap. Like, subscribe, or I'm gonna come down there and slap the stupid off your face.
Welcome everybody to Wrestle Geeks Recaps. We bring you recaps for Impact Wrestling every Tuesday morning, AEW every Wednesday morning, and New Japan Strong every Friday morning. This is our recap for Sacrifice Impact Plus special. I'm your host, the Geek Trevor Firth. I'm being joined by my fellow Canadian, the cream in your coffee, Jordan Talbot.
Woohoo.
As well as always, joining us from the UK, the modern day Viking, Jay Scriven.
How's it going?
Oh, great week of wrestling, man. Can't complain.
There we go.
So, overall, Sacrifice. It was great, right? I just had fun with it. I know me and Jay talked about it a little bit earlier. We have one match we both didn't really like, and other than that, everything was great, in our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Jordan?
Really surprising show. Like I always say, not every show or pay-per-view or even plus special is going to be 100% perfect, but there were definitely some shows that I knew were going to live up to the hype, and I think there were some that even exceeded the hype.
Yep. So Jay, I just have the card written down. I don't have when the weird, out of place promos happened. Mm-hmm. So I don't have where they happened in the card. So if you want to just let me know when one of them comes up, we'll just go into that one as whichever one comes up first. But our first match of the night, we had Decay, Black Taurus, and Crazy Steve at Rosemary ringside versus Reno Scum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to start off with saying Impact really likes Black Taurus and understands what they have with him.
Yeah.
100%. They get it. They know what's going on with this guy. They know how much people are loving him. And I'll just say, like always, Crazy Steve, Jesus Christ, dude. Every time he gets in the ring, I'm just blown away by how incredible this guy is, considering he's blind.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And then Reno Scum, they always serve their purpose masterfully. They know, they're always good at doing exactly what they need to do. And to me, that they know their place on a card, and they know exactly how to get a team over. And it was a great little match.
Mm-hmm.
Good opener. Jay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a very good opener. Crazy Steve, again, just like you said, every time he steps into the ring, I'm shocked with how good he looks. Black Taurus, I'm glad they didn't do another red t-shirt fucking bit where he chased the t-shirt, because that was stupid. But yeah, they're booking him really well.
Yeah. Jordan?
So I was very happy with this match, even though the outcome was, what we all expected. There's no doubt that Reno Scum was not going to win this match. But you're right, Trev. They know how to put a team over. That's for sure. They are really good at helping audiences really see how good a team can be. And I think what this does is really get people to know that Decay is coming for those tag team titles. I don't know when, but I definitely see them getting a shot at the titles in the near future. I'm very much seeing Black Taurus and Crazy Steve, because I always look at Decay as a tag team. Not sometimes as singles guys. I always look at Decay as the team.
Yeah. It's a tag team with a women's competitor, always.
Yeah. And I love the mist from Rosemary. That was cool. The green mist was awesome. Watching her do that, or just being just a scary woman I just like how awesome Rosemary is in general. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy with that Decay won the match, and that I really see them going for the tag team titles. I even see them doing it at Bound for Glory.
Oh wow, you're skipping Rebellion on that one. But no, it's good. I like the long-term booking ideas.
Yeah, I think Rebellion's too soon. Let Decay really gel as a tag team.
No, I agree. Long-term, the longer term is a good idea. And we were talking earlier today, and thank you for saying that name because I could not remember the name of that pay-per-view.
And also, I gotta say, this is a match that I watched highlights of. It was a match that I didn't get a hand of. And from looking at your guys' expression, did she not do the green mist in this match? Because
she did. She did.
Oh yes, she totally did.
Because now I'm like thinking, did I just get that wrong completely? Because I was very sure that's what I saw in the match.
No, I just didn't think of. Again, I'm a storyline guy, and I always think storylines. I don't necessarily think of bringing up spots.
Oh, okay.
That's one of my things. I don't always think about bringing up spots per se. I focus on storylines for myself. But yeah, you guys are here for the spots, right?
Yeah, but I'm a huge Great Muta fan. So anyone who can pull off the mist, and make it look good, yeah.
Rosemary is a master at the mist. She does it really well.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, Jay, before we move on?
No.
Cool.
No.
Just wanted to make sure. So next match is Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K versus Havoc with a K and Nevaeh.
In case anyone didn't know.
So when it came to our predictions, I almost don't want to give Jordan a point on this one. But we all guessed that Tennille and Caleb were going to win. You thought that, Jordan, you thought that Havoc was going to turn on Nevaeh.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that's not what we got, of course. Nevaeh did get pinned. And we still get just Nevaeh being extremely frustrated with herself.
Mm-hmm.
And Havoc is trying to, you see it? Havoc is trying to console her.
Mm-hmm.
Face Havoc is still weird for me. Face Nevaeh actually works, oddly enough. The story from Nevaeh's aspect, I'm really enjoying it. Mm-hmm. It's just Face Havoc is weird. Anyway.
Mm. I think for me, I must have mixed up what my prediction would be. Yeah, I wanted to say Nevaeh would turn heel on Havoc and join up with Tennille and Caleb, but I know why I got Havoc and Nevaeh mixed up. They're both beautiful badasses, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But all in all, this match was, I think the most surprising part of this match for me was that Nevaeh didn't turn on Havoc. I really thought she was going to do that.
I'm glad they didn't book it like that. I think this kind of breaking up because they're just not working is better than breaking up because they're falling out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But I predicted that Dashwood and Caleb with a K are going to become a tag team and maybe challenge for the Knockout Tag Team Championship.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen.
No,
don't happen, please. We've already had Eric Young and Cody Deaner do that crap.
Oh, maybe if you have it, so they win the.
Did they both do that? The Cody Deaner.
I think Cody Deaner won the Knockouts title for some time, for a minute or something. I think that happened, or maybe he took possession of the title or something from ODB.
Okay, I didn't. That could be. I'll have to look into that now. I'm curious.
That's Vince Russo style of booking. Remember, guys.
That's very Vince Russo. Yeah. Anyway, Jay, sorry to cut you off. I just had to.
See, I think it could work if you have them challenge for the Knockout Tag Team Championship, have them running that thing for a little while, and then move over to the World Tag Team Championships. That brings you cross gender wrestling over, and then you could unify both belts or something. I don't know.
They just introduced the belts. It's such a waste.
I have no problem with them going after the World Tag Team title. I think Tennille and Caleb would be awesome going after that.
I totally agree, but right now I can't see them fitting into the World Tag Team division, with the tag teams I've got at the moment. I think you need to build them up as a better tag team, and I think that's basically that would be in the Knockout Championship tag teams. At least then it gives them a chance to get over and stuff, and then put them into the bigger league, which is horrible to say, but you know.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
We had Matt Straker commenting on how Caleb is so much of a ring general, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was directing Tennille a lot of the time in this match.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he's the vet.
Yeah.
Like, he's got, out of the two of them, he's definitely the veteran.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we'll see where this goes next when it comes to Havoc and Nevaeh. We get an idea of where it's going next when it comes to Tennille, but...
Yeah.
Jordan?
I'm just going to throw this idea out there, and I'm not saying that Impact should do it because they already have enough tag team titles. But are you guys thinking that an intergender tag team title is something that should happen in wrestling, or do you think it's now come to the point where men and women should just go after the world tag team title? Like it.
To me, yeah. To me, intergender wrestling is just the way things are going to be. That's very soon. That I've already explained. I really like the idea of doing weight classes before. I did this on an episode before, and I'll just go over quickly. But I like the idea of doing weight divisions because you can do a heavyweight, which is 206 and more. You can do a junior heavyweight / cruiserweight, whatever you want to call it, which is 205 and less, and then you do an open weight title as your third, and those are your 3 singles titles. Mm-hmm. Now, I predict that if you would do that, and with the right people, your open title would become the title that everybody cares about the most, that your fans care about the most. I predict that it would become your top title, because you can have one. That's the division where you're going to see small guys fighting big guys, but it's also the division where you're going to see women who are under 205 pounds fight men who are over 205 pounds. Women who can still compete in the cruiserweight division. Because Charlotte weighs in the 140s, 150s about, if that. And, you know, like most men in the cruiserweights weigh around 170. Mm-hmm. And those are the more, no offense, but out of shape ones for the most part. So you know what I mean? Like, and look at Charlotte. Like, women weigh a lot less, but they can still compete in the cruiserweight division. And that's how I would do it that way. I wouldn't bother having like actual belts for intergender. I wouldn't bother like, you know what I mean? Like, I just dissolve the idea of having a women's division completely.
Yeah, I get you.
See, I'm totally for intergender wrestling. I just don't think the fan base is at the moment. I don't think they're ready for it. I don't think, as you know,
it's a real like you know, you either love it or like it. It's or hate it. Yeah. One of those things. It's
really on the fence. A lot of people are really on the fence about it, and I can understand why. I think when you watch the right matches, you can see how amazing it can be. Mm-hmm. Like, just go watch the documentary. Oh my god, I don't remember the name of it, but Gargano and LeRae.
I know what you're talking about.
Wrestling a couple that wrestles, or wrestling couple, something like that. It's so good. It's so good. And yeah, they wrestle each other constantly, and they were a couple the entire time. And they talk about intergender wrestling, and it's actually one of the things that I think opened my mind the most about intergender wrestling. Now that I think about it, is that documentary.
Would you say, Jay, are you a fan of? You said about intergender wrestling. Are you on the fence with it, or you're completely behind it? Would you say?
Oh no, I'm completely behind it. Completely.
Okay.
I just think as a fan base, especially for a worldwide audience, you know, I think having that put on TV when there's not anything else like that. I think it needs baby steps. You know.
Okay.
I think that's and totally like a few years down the line, I can see it happening, but I think right now it's baby steps towards it happening.
Yeah, okay. Especially I understand what you mean, especially world stage, because look at Japan, where you have men's wrestling and then you have women's Joshi wrestling. Like, they're completely separated.
Yeah.
They do not do. I mean, like DDT does some intergender stuff, but it's DDT.
Yeah, they do anything.
They wrestle like blow up dolls, and they had a title that they once crowned the. First of all, Joey Ryan lost that belt to Candice LeRae in a dream with puppets. There we go. Let's just leave it at that. That was official. He officially lost that title. Like, man, they were doing cinematic matches ahead of everybody else. Next match, we have Violent by Design, Diener and Dorian versus James Storm, Chris Sabin, Jake something at ringside for them.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
We just missed a promo by Swann and Edwards backstage, and Edwards is telling Swann that he's going to beat Moose and he's going to beat Omega. He's going to be like the AEW World Champion and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I did enjoy that. I'll be honest. Like, little backstage segments like that during a pay-per-view make sense to me, and they're fine.
Mhm.
I just really hated the casino. I'll be honest. I know it's coming. It's in there somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, no, Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann go way back. Like, they go back too as friends. Just building that friendship is on screen is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tag team match, Diener and Dorian. Dorian looked, first of all, this is the first time I think they really decided, okay, let's just let him off the hook. Let's just let him do what he wants to do. Because I'm like, this is the guy that I heard about in All Japan, that I heard was like tearing All Japan Pro Wrestling apart. Okay, this is the Lance Archer of All Japan Pro Wrestling. Gotcha. Because that's what he was compared to a lot when he was there. So, man, he impressed me. Like, I knew it was coming, and I was still impressed. I was still very impressed with his showing. And then, of course, Chris Sabin, James Storm, like, these guys are... Eric Young, like, those three guys can do no wrong ever at this point. Like, they're... Even when they do botch a move or miscue or whatever, they recover so gracefully most of the time that it's passable, you know? And then Diener just selling this new persona for me.
So happy he could walk after getting tortured.
Jay, do you want to go over the finish of the match? And then tell your opinions?
So the finish
here we go.
of the match, honestly, I was shocked. You have Rhino come out.
Yes.
He calls Sabin, and then Diener gets the win over Sabin. And it's announced that Rhino is Violent by Design. Yeah,
my only question is, where's Heath Miller? Where's Heath? What's going on?
Yeah.
Is he out? I'm thinking maybe he's out on injury longer than intended, than they originally thought. I don't know. That's purely my speculation.
And we still have Rhino and Heath got a title match whenever they pick, haven't they?
I mean, I guess.
Maybe.
But at this point, maybe Rhino is just going to be like, screw Heat. He's hurt. He's gone. Blah blah blah. I don't care. And just be like, I'm taking Joe Dorian. You know, I'm like, we're gonna go for the tag titles.
Yeah.
Who knows at this point? But no, that was a shock to me, Rhino. I don't know how I felt about it. I'll be honest. I'm just like, I don't know. I like it because I do feel like he fits. He definitely fits in. But I felt like they already have like the big monster. They already have the veteran leader in Eric Young. And I'm just trying to figure out exactly what purpose he's going to serve on the team. That's all. So I guess for me, it's mostly a wait and see when it comes to right now. But the match itself, I loved. So the match was.
I think it was really good, and I read somewhere that someone's saying that like, so as a fourth to get added to Storm, Sabin, and Jake something. So you've got Alex Shelley, but what happens if Chris Harris came back?
Oh wow!
Ooh,
that'd be amazing.
He wrestled.
Very interesting.
He wrestled not that long ago.
Oh wow!
He was there when Moose started walking around with that with the TNA title. Wasn't he? Am I imagining this?
I don't remember that.
I really don't remember that one.
Wasn't it around when they were going to be doing the homecoming event?
Yes, he was going to be on that. Yeah, he was going to be on that.
Okay, I thought
Because
they had done
Storm wasn't planned.
Okay, I thought that they ended up doing a couple TV tapings because Moose's gimmick when he first showed up with the TNA title was that he was taking on some of the older TNA guys for the title.
Yeah.
Is what he was doing, and I was pretty sure Chris Harris is one of them. But
Can't really say.
I really like Chris Harris, so maybe that's why. I mean, it might have stuck out to me because of that. I don't know. We have a guy in CAW that uses the cat's cradle. So.
So this match was great. I loved it because I love everybody in this match. It's one of those matches I could not have a problem watching because I love Violent by Design, loved Chris Sabin and James Storm, and I still say Jake Something is a superstar. He'll be like a big name very soon. But when Rhino came out to join Violent by Design and hit the gore, I was marking the hell out of this. And here's why. I've always loved Rhino ever since I watched him on ECW, being this beast that just doesn't have to say much. He just has to gore you. Like, he's the only guy.
I just want to say, final ECW champion.
And TV champion.
And TV. Yeah, there you go.
And that's just the thing. He never had to do like a new move. He never had to add something to it. Yeah. It's the simplest thing. The gore, gore, gore. That's it. And people love watching him do it.
Randy Orton.
Yeah, just same thing.
Yeah, it's a similar pattern to what Randy Orton has done throughout his career as well. People pop consistency. Love it.
But what I love most about this is because I always liked Rhino in a group, and I liked it. This reminds me of when back in ECW when Don Callis was Cyrus and he had that faction, the Network. He had Rhino as his guy who just would gore security, wrestlers, women, everybody. And so I'm praying, I'm not expecting Rhino to be the, face of Violent by Design. There's no doubt it's Eric Young and Diener and Joe Doring. He's the legend that's kind of giving them this the stamp of approval for being this badass faction, in my opinion. But I think he's going to do great because all you need him to do, like when they're beating up somebody, you're just waiting for the gore. And I'm very excited to see him as a part of this group.
I agree. I think Rhino, but part of the group, is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what it does.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried that they've got a very old, age-related faction, really. Look at Joe, he's 38, Dean is 39. I don't even know how old Eric Young and Rhino are, but it just seems very, they could have brought in a younger star. Sam Beale, put him in it.
Oh man, we already have our story for Sam Beale. Sam
Eric Young is
like, Callahan, you used me. Where are you?
Eric Young is actually 41. If that if that matters, just throw it in. It's amazing he doesn't even look 41.
He doesn't know.
None of these guys look their age, to be fair. They all look younger than what they are.
And to me, they all fit together too. That's the great thing about this group.
Joe looks a lot older.
Okay.
I think this group just fits together though. They don't you don't just throw a bunch of guys together and say, bam, here's a faction. Let's just see how it works. They all look like,
They all look like killers.
Yeah, pretty much.
They all look like serious killers.
I wish their group name was Violent by Killers. Or Killers by Design. Something with the word killer in it. Trademarked it. I'm trademarking that.
I like the Violent by Design t-shirt.
I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
So good.
So, next match was the match
Myers paying Hernandez. So that's setting up fucking Hernandez being in the match, straight away. And then you've got a Myers and Edwards hype video where you've got Scott D'Amore recapping on the 0 for 9 match, kind of like that a bit of confidence in there.
Mhm.
But
Before we go into this match, can I just say one more thing about the great thing about Rhino is they can bring him back to Impact, and he's been back like twice or 3 times, and he still always feels like, he hasn't lost any, at least to me, he hasn't lost any of the magic that he has. Like, he can still gore people, and people will still love it. I mean, I can't say the same for Hernandez because they brought him back like 37 times.
Well, when Rhino returned, he was still under his 90-day no-compete clause with WWE.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah.
And WWE let him. They said, "Yeah, you can go on it. It's fine."
Yeah, he didn't take his mask off.
No, he didn't take his mask off, but WWE, obviously everyone knew who it was, and WWE had okayed that. So,
Which was cool of them, I will admit.
well, one good thing out of the things they've done is
Yeah.
Every 100 decisions, they do at least one good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the match to me was. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. Edwards is good, Myers is good, but they just, how sometimes 2 guys just don't click. They just they seem incapable of having a good match.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm starting to feel.
See, the first time they faced off, I was hyped. I was like, "This is going to be a great match," and it was a letdown. And then we had the same thing again, but on a special, it was like, okay, this is boring. The whole match to me was just so slow, so boring. Like both workers are incredible. Why are they putting on such a boring match?
Yeah, I agree with you, Trev and Jay, that it was both a boring match, and it's just so weird to see 2 guys that are so good. And it's one of those things, sometimes, it's peanut butter and mayonnaise. It's 2 things that people may love, but it's not going to go good together.
Yeah.
Anybody who loves peanut butter and mayonnaise, that's cool.
Well, even Myers, he hit Edwards with the trash can lid, and it looked so weak. It didn't look effective at all. Like, honestly, I could have hit my kids with it, and they would have been fine. It was like, oh, that's rubbish. I wouldn't hit my kids. I'm just going to clarify that now.
It'd be so funny if someone said, "Oh my God, call them! Call child services!"
Yeah. Oh.
His name is Jay Scriven, and I know he lives somewhere in the UK.
They call him a Viking, so call Minnesota just in case.
Oh Jesus, UK dude, UK, not US.
We're covering all world. Don't forget Sweden.
But yeah, I don't see much worth saying about the match either. Okay, Edwards won after using the weight or whatever it is that Myers.
It's just a red thing.
I think it's just supposed to be a little rectangle weight with some tape around it or something. I don't know. It doesn't look good.
I was happy that I picked the right winner for this match.
Yeah.
But I was really shocked of it's one of those matches where you want to rewatch because maybe there was something you missed that, made this match great. But it's just sometimes, it just doesn't, the magic isn't there.
I think I'd be halfway through rewatching this and I'd go, nope, didn't miss anything. I was wrong.
The backpack stunner through the table, that was a nice little spot.
Mm-hmm.
But out of the whole match, if I can only pick one spot, that was a good spot I'd rewatch. It's a disappointment, Yeah. And then Hernandez running out and Cardona coming out as well, and that was over in a minute, and there was no story there really.
Yeah.
It was just
forgettable.
All right.
Forgettable.
Yeah. We knew Hernandez was running out, But why is he still paying Hernandez? He keeps losing.
Yeah.
Why? But yeah, the match to me, I was so let down. Again, I was just expecting more than they could provide, really.
Still the biggest Eddie Edwards fan. Still say he's one of the best.
Oh, no, I agree.
If Myers doesn't fire Hernandez, which one of the 3 of us reserves the right to rant on next week's show?
I think it's Jordan's turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Jordan's turn.
No. I'm not. I'm waiting for a good time to rant. I'm good.
Sorry, I had to ask.
Besides, I rant about Hernandez all the time, so you know.
do.
I
So
think you've got
technically, sometimes I just look at him, I just go, please stop coming back.
Just go away. You have real go away heat with him.
X-Pac heat. Isn't that what it is? Yeah. I know.
Yeah. But I think that's everything we have to say about this one, right?
yeah.
We're done crashing it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm happily with a beautiful woman, by the way, everybody, so I don't like Hernandez that way.
That's not what you meant by I just look at him. That's not what you meant.
I am a man's man, ladies and gentlemen.
That means you like manly men, right?
Shut up!
So next match is the Knockouts Tag Team title match between Fire and Flava versus Jordan Grace and Jazz. This is a friggin' great match. Like, I needed something to pick me up after that last one, and this one did it.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
Oh my god, yeah. So happy.
Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz just keep getting better. Like, literally, every single episode, every single showing they have, they just keep getting better and better and better. We saw them both kick ass in singles matches the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, this was a dominant, decisive win, too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fairly clean. There was, like, just that wasn't even heel shenanigans or heel tactics to me at the end there. That's just smart tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So, this is a great match, in my opinion, for me. He was almost match of the night, but not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan?
And at the when we did our last taping of the Impact review, I went on about how I say Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz are two great wrestlers who can not only work great as singles, but work great as a tag team. And I think they just needed that one match to really drive home the fact that they are a super good tag team. And this match was it. And a lot of praise to Jordan Grace and Jazz, because those two are great workers themselves. I mean, Jazz is a legend, and Jordan Grace is just an awesome talent. But yeah, I was very, very happy this match went as good as I hoped. It actually exceeded my expectations, so that's always awesome.
I agree. It really did exceed my expectations as well. I'm kind of hoping that Jordan Grace and Jazz move on now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy if they, Jazz can disappear or whatever. Nothing against Jazz. Just I feel now we need a new tag team to come in against Fire and Flava. I think this has run its course.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Sea Stars. Bring them back.
Beautiful people.
Beautiful peoples. Yeah, I want to see something fresh too, though. You know what I mean? I'd like to see some fresh faces in the division. As for Jazz, man, like, just have her lose against Deonna next. Legend Killer gimmick. Killer gimmick.
I know, but how can you put Jazz into the Knockouts Championship when she's just taken this loss? And
I don't know. I think, the classic win a battle royal or something like that, or win a 4-way match, something like. They always do something where it's like, oh, the surprise winner, something like that. I think.
Yeah. But the match overall was a really good match. Again, Fire and Flava looking like a really good tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the Knockouts tag team division is just a bit empty.
Yeah, they need new teams. They need.
We're gonna have like Kimberly and Crackhead Susan.
Crackhead Susan. Oh my god.
What would you feel about Diamante and Ivelisse coming over?
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Could never have a problem with those two.
Right?
We should have Jazz's daughter turn up. That his twin daughters turn up. That would be awesome. They're just being trained by Thunder Rosa. That's maybe where we could go next.
Dude, that's sick. I will admit, hearing that they're starting training, that's cool. That pumps me. And I feel so bad for second or third generation people like that, because they have so much pressure on them. Just the moment their name gets out, boom, instant pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them, but I really do I hope they do well. it's like honestly seeing Devon's boys on Dark. I'm watching Dark one night and I'm like, I those kids, and then they do a 3D and I'm like, or they go for a 3D and it gets countered and I'm like, those are Devon's boys, because I'd seen something online like on YouTube about them like 2-3 years prior.
Well, they
right?
were on Impact TNA, I think it was at the time. They were on TNA and they had a couple of matches in TNA, didn't they?
Oh, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, they did a little stuff with the Pope, I think, D'Angelo.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But all in all, Fire and Flava are more than deserving tag team champions. Like, at the end of the day, they are a great team to be champions.
And then
for it.
After the match, we go into a Moose segment backstage where he says he's done talking and everyone can see what happens.
And that's what I wish it could have been like that's what I like more than the Rich Swann promo, because it's just, you don't need to say much. You know what's on the line.
Honestly, I wish he wouldn't have even said that. I wish he would have just walked away.
Yeah, but I just don't like those backstage things where it's like, I get Eddie and Rich have a history, but I hate that whole like, come on, you can do it, buddy. I believe in you.
Yeah. I mean, I was cool with it when it came to Eddie and Swann because I do feel like they do need to build some on-screen friendships at times. It's something that gets underlooked very often in wrestling. But yeah, there's not much to say about this segment either. Next match, we have the X Division title match. TJP, Ace Austin, Fulton at ringside, of course. Oh man, I was so sure TJP was going to retain because of the Josh Alexander thing. I was just like, oh, they're setting up Josh Alexander to go against TJP again for the title. But I was wrong. But
those are music to my ears, just hearing that.
Admitting I can admit when I'm wrong. I have no problem with that.
He is saying this with tears in his eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell everybody.
Sure I am.
I think this match was honestly, it was just such a good match. Everything between them, they just click, and it got me excited to see Ace Austin versus Omega down the line. Year from now, build Ace Austin up, have him go against Omega. It just really. This lad he just stands out as a star. He gets compared to AJ Styles, and I understand why. But if you look at AJ Styles when TNA first started compared to Ace Austin now, Ace Austin's already got his character down completely.
Yeah.
But Styles didn't have that, and if this is just what we're expecting from him, if this is the lad that's going to be the new face of Impact Wrestling, like AJ Styles was, I'm okay with that. Completely.
He already has the inevitable. I'm like, done, perfect.
Yep.
You got it. He's got his gimmick. He's got like the gimmick that will carry him through to the very top of any promotion anywhere in the world. He figured it out. And like Ace Austin is the future. You're right. Like he is the next AJ Styles in a sense. He's years ahead. Somehow he's years ahead.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit about Ace in a second, but let's all really give praise to TJP as well, because TJP just always has matches that you're gonna want to watch, and he did a really good job as X Division champion in my mind. His matches were great, and you can tell how good like a champion is when he loses his title and he makes the guy who beats him look like he should be the champ. Sometimes it sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes like, oh yeah, the guy won, that's cool. TJP made sure that Ace Austin winning it the second time was as big, if not bigger than the first time. Because now people have this, as you guys said, now people see that Ace Austin could be the man to lead this company. I've sang his praises 100 times saying, I think Ace Austin, Chris Bay are two guys that will lead this company, not just in the X division, but I think in the heavyweight division. But
Absolutely.
But yeah, this match was unbelievable. I was not surprised this match was going to be good. It was an awesome match. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, this was great, woohoo. No, it's two of the guys. You have TJP, who's awesome, and Ace Austin, who's just like gonna be the next guy. And I don't know if he's going to be the AJ Styles. I know he's going to be the face of the company, but I don't know if saying AJ Styles is like, because AJ Styles in Impact that's the standard bearer in my opinion. But I think he could come really close to it.
I think he's jumping over it, dude.
I agree. I totally agree.
I think
you mean right now. I mean,
years.
I'm
not
like
saying
2
like
right
years.
now. Yeah,
2 years.
Okay.
And Ace Austin has surpassed AJ Styles' lineage in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion.
You got to remember, AJ Styles has a lot of years in TNA.
He does.
He has a lot of story backing, everything behind him, and the most stupid thing that they ever did was that AJ Styles leave. Just give him whatever money he wanted. But that's past, But Ace Austin, if give him time. I'm not saying it's going to happen this week, but give him time, and I can see Ace Austin surpassing AJ Styles in his accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a good word. I like that word. I like that.
Accomplishment. The last thing I want to say about the match is that now that he's a 2-time X Division champion, I'm really sad that they already used the Triple X champion gimmick.
Yeah.
Because because my only complaint when he used it the first time was that, oh, well, I guess, but it would make sense if you were a 3-time champion more.
Oh, I'd love that.
And
that'd be so
now
fun.
I really wish he would have saved the gimmick for a
Mm-hmm.
3-time champion. But, whatever. You take what inspiration hits you at the time and you go with that, and it is what it is. But yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to say. Anything else from you guys?
Just Ace Austin is the future. That's it. Case closed.
Oh, and none of us are underselling TJP. TJP is a absolute icon of cruiserweight technical wrestling. A lot of I will admit, there's some miscues in this match on Ace's part because Ace has never worked someone like TJP.
Oh yeah, and TJP really handled it well and helped guide him to the future. That's the truth, But you need to face people with experience to get there, don't you?
It's like I said, it just goes back to what I said. TJP is that good of a champion that when he loses his belt, the guy who gets it is going to look better. The belt doesn't make the guy makes the belt.
Absolutely. He's one of the veteran, over on New Japan Strong, he's one of the veteran faces that guides the Young Lions and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I love getting TJP on more than once a week. Anytime he's on New Japan Strong, I'm like, woo, bonus.
There you go.
Next match was the
knockout.
No. Oh, when I say if you got anything else, you should bring up those segments.
I was about to.
Oh my God.
So after the match, we go into everyone's favorite part, which is Sunda's Palace.
Woohoo!
And we've got Caleb and Dashwood walk in there like, where is this place? What is this? Kind of, how long has this been here? Is one of the things they said. And Alicia is sat on there, and they're going to set up a match with each other and go to Scott D'Amore and get the match made, and they're both arguing about who's going to get the match made.
This is why I like the casino. I always love the random nonsense that happens there.
I mean, I think I prefer where the casino led, like what Scott D'Amore did, because that's just classic Scott D'Amore, and I'm liking the classic Scott D'Amore being the, oh, you think you're getting this? No, you're not. Type of general manager, but Yeah, no. I like Tenille dissing it. I also liked how Tenille like didn't really recognize who she was per se. She's like, didn't I tag with her for a bit or something? Like, who was she? And it's because I agree. I think they were honestly like a really good tag team. I think Alicia Edwards might have been like the tag team. Alicia Edwards might have been the tag team partner for Tenille out of everybody on the roster right now, at least. And they just like they're like, let's have Tenille ditch her.
Yeah.
Just come back around to her eventually, I suppose. That's kind of
Well, this-
funny and actually very
This
Tenille.
segment actually leads up to Scott D'Amore booking a 6 versus 6 match, and letting the fans know they can find out who the match is going to be on Impact.com. So obviously I'm sat there watching it, and I went on to Impact.com to see what the match was going to be, and there was no news up on it yet.
Yeah, it was. Well, if you're going to say that, you need to have it up live when you're saying it. And I haven't even gone to check.
I've checked, but I can't remember who it is. It's
I'll
like
be honest, like you. I checked it live. It wasn't there. I didn't go back.
I checked this morning, and it was there, and it's literally a match to get as many people on the card as possible. It's got Jazz, it's got ODB, versus another 6, and I'm sure it'll be a good match.
I know I know you hate these big kerfuffle matches, Trev, but what I'm thinking they're trying to do is, like we've been talking about, I think they're trying to maybe see if there's a tag team that could be discovered in this match with one side and the other. Maybe that's what they're going for in this. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and for me, it's not really that I hate these matches. It's I was getting tired of seeing it in the X division.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, like, for me, it's a big thing of, like, swap up. You can do the same storylines, but do them in different divisions with different people, and it can feel fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find it now, because, wait, how many participants are in this?
12, 6 versus 6.
6 versus 6? That's just... Why?
Just all their knockouts.
Oh, my God, that's so many. There's going to be so many people standing on the apron doing nothing. God damn it.
I will not be mad.
That's the thing, man. I don't know. I've always meant to ask wrestlers this, but I've never thought of actually doing it when I'm in front of them because I always have so many other things on my mind during a show. But if you're doing like a 4-man, like a 4-on-4 or 3-on-3, and like, what's going through your head when you're just standing on the apron waiting? Yeah, you're just there like, don't look like a dumbass. Gotta keep them cool. Yep, gotta look cool. Can't look like an idiot.
I assume they're saying things like, "Did I leave the kettle on?"
Oh, probably. It's probably like basic things, like very basic things, like, did I forget to feed the cat?
Oh, my trunks are just rising right up there.
That is a common wrestler complaint.
All right.
But yeah, the Knockouts title match.
The knocked up title match, yeah.
Knocked up title match, yeah.
Knocked up title match. If ODB would have won, man. If ODB would have won. But I will say this, okay? So Deanna does retain, does make ODB tap out. But man, this is way longer than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think I expected it to be over around when people were ejected.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they kicked out everybody from ringside, I was like, oh. Like I looked at the runtime on the match, and I was like, man, I thought it'd be done by now. I thought it'd be ending around this time. Like, okay. And that's when I got like really seriously invested in the match too, was when everybody else was ejected. Because I'll admit, that gets me. When you have a moment at ringside and then you eject the ref kicks everybody out, I'm instantly more intrigued in the match. I don't know why that works with me really often. Maybe not always, but more often than not.
See, to me, it really bothered me that like the referee saw Kimberly kick ODB in the head and was just like, nah, that's fine, everyone just leave. You know, like, that's a disqualification.
Okay. It's a title match. I will keep going with how you felt about the match.
I enjoyed the match. I just, if that wouldn't have stood in a different title match, that would have been like, oh no, that's a disqualification. The referee wasn't meant to see it. Wasn't meant to see it, obviously, but the referee is literally looking at Kimberly as she kicks ODB in the head, and everyone's going like, oh shit, what do we do now? Like, that is definitely a disqualification.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, I have my wife sitting next to me, who is a referee.
Covering all his bases, ladies.
Just to let you know. Now, Maris, would you please explain as to why the referee made the right call?
And before she shows up, this next segment is brought to you by our fragrance of the week, Champions.
That's, oh man, that's such an inside joke at this point. I love it.
Champions. It scares the shit out of me.
This is a title match. If you call this is a title match. If you call this a disqualification, the person holding the title keeps their title by champion's advantage. Not only are you pissing off your entire crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there is no crowd at Impact right now, but fan base.
I was going to say you're also pissing off the people at home. And let's face it, who pays for your company? Your fans.
Mm-hmm.
This is a title match. You never call a title match by disqualification unless it's pre-booked.
That's your choice.
No, and I totally agree, and you can see the fact that the referee wasn't meant to see it happen. I'm just saying it was a bit of a messed up spot.
No, I don't know. To me, anyway, yes or no. To me, I didn't really notice it as that, mainly because I think I watch a lot of Japanese wrestling. Okay, and in a Japanese wrestling match, if somebody takes out a chair and smashes you with it during a title match, the ref's going to be like, "Dude, what the hell? Don't do that again." And then take the chair away. Because it's a title match.
Mm-hmm.
Title matches are very important. They give you more leeway. That's just in general. Title match, a lot of the referees give you more leeway during title matches because, again, you don't want the challenger. The challenger wins by disqualification and gets nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And gets punished for winning because somebody else got interfered. And it's just like, no, the challenger's going to want to keep going, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it was fine. I didn't notice anything bad with it.
Mm-hmm. First of all, that was some fine commentary of the importance of refereeing from our special guest. Thank you.
My beautiful wife, yes.
His beautiful wife, so thank you to his beautiful wife. She's not as beautiful as my girlfriend, sorry.
We got to cover our bases, Jordan. I understand.
But going to the match, first of all,
if we're getting into that was beautiful as my girlfriend, you both up done. Like, let's just if we're doing this,
Too bad this wasn't set on Valentine's Day. All three of our women could all have an argument. That'd be the greatest thing ever. The pay-per-view buy rates will be huge, I tell you. But going into this match, first of all, Deonna, man, every time she defends her title, she just looks like a effing beast. Like how she just beats people. The best way to describe it to fans, in my opinion, is she has that style of Ronda Rousey, where how she always finished fights by submission. How it just felt like every time someone came in who could maybe give her a good fight, what does she do? Grabs her arm or whatever, and just makes them tap. And ODB, she did, she's a veteran. She did her job of, really making sure that Deonna looks like there's nobody who can mess with her in this division. And so what I'm hoping is that by doing that, because they have Kenny Omega coming here, I'm hoping that finally we may get some women from AEW's roster to come down and maybe, something happen there. I don't know if it will. I hope they continue to build up their women's division because I think the Impact division, the Impact women's division is just a top-notch division. I don't think they necessarily need somebody from AEW to come down, but I would like to see, I would mind seeing her against Thunder Rosa. That'd be my dream.
Wouldn't mind.
That would be my match that I'd love to see between those two because they're just
half
really
of
good.
Impact's fan base screaming to have that match.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
he says.
Just saying. But yeah, I really think that the most important thing in this match was to just once again clarify that Deonna can, any way possible, she will make you tap. And I love that.
Yeah, I agree. But you compared her to Ronda Rousey?
In the sense... Oh,
No,
yeah, okay.
I agree. I can see that. But to me, she's more Dean Malenko.
Okay, I get you.
That's personally, I see a lot of Dean Malenko in her when I see her wrestle.
Would you say for anything for you, Jay? Any vibe she gives to you in her matches?
I think she's just an excellent competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like I said, I wanted to be the longest reigning Knockouts champion. I wanted to be, the face of the Knockouts when they do go to war with AEW.
Yeah,
I agree.
She should be. There's no doubt.
Yeah, there's no one better suited for it. You could put her in a match with anyone, and I'm sure she could have an excellent match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was supposed to be like Britt Baker got her spot because she signed with WWE before All In, and she had to cancel her appearance at All In, so they got Britt Baker in there instead. So Deonna Purrazzo was propped up to be that person in AEW. She could have been that person. So her being an Impact, being at the very front, I like that.
And the great thing about her too is she's only 26 years old. She's only going to get better.
Oh yeah,
that's the other part. Yeah, only 26, and she's only been wrestling for 8 years.
Wow.
So it's amazing how fast she's grown in that style because it's really hard to be a legitimate submission wrestler, to really make submissions look like, oh my God, this girl is breaking her arm or breaking her leg or something like that, because a lot of people can't really pull it off. But Deonna just makes it look like, oh my God, she could, if she wanted to, rip your arm off.
Yeah, I agree. I'm Legend Killer gimmick for me for Deonna, like I said before. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see who comes next.
Mm-hmm.
If nobody has anything to add, and if there's no little other segments,
we've already covered it. It was the 6.
Okay, we already covered them all. Good. I thought. So now we get. Honestly, I think I was more excited for this match than I am for the world title match.
Mm-hmm.
We got Good Brothers defending their title against Finjuice.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And wow. This match was all like AEW. AEW is like, we have the best tag team wrestling in the world. Meanwhile, barn burner of a fucking match.
As Owen Wilson would say, wow.
But
wow.
I can't believe that the Good Brothers lost.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could.
No, honestly,
I couldn't believe it.
Blew my mind.
When I woke up and or continue, Jay, go. Sorry.
Even in my notes, after this match, I'm writing about the other matches. I'm still I can't believe the Good Brothers lost. It's still there. Just blew my mind. Also, I just need to mention, I think Impact owe me a big favor. D'Lo Brown announced it. The Rock's coming to Impact Wrestling.
Oh my God!
What?
Yo, you didn't hear that? You didn't hear his hint that The Rock is coming to Impact?
They stole your idea.
They fucking did.
The exact line is like one of my good friends used to say, "Know your role. Shut your mouth and know your role."
It'd be so funny if D'Lo is a fan of our thing and just watch it going, The Rock to Impact.
I'll sort that out.
Yeah.
Scott, I have a great idea. It just came to me, literally. Just came to me.
Hey man, if anybody can sort it out, it's D'Lo, I'm sure.
And he's doing the head swivel as he's doing it.
D'Lo, of course. Man, I wish we could have shots of them on commentary at times.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I know they're not doing commentary at ringside live. I know they're not doing live commentary at ringside right now. I know that they're doing it in post production. I'm like 90% sure they're doing it in post production right now.
Yeah.
But oh man, it would be
Wow.
great to see D'Lo just sitting there doing the head swivel as he's doing
I loved it.
his commentary. I think fans at home would just pop their asses off for it.
Oh, yeah. But man,
But
who
yeah,
really
match.
who really thought binge? Well, here's the reason I didn't think. There were two reasons. One, because I thought the Good Brothers were going to have a real, like, long title reign. And, like, since they're always going to AEW, I thought, they were going to do something with that. And also, Finjuice, I just thought, this would just be a short tour in Impact, lose this match, and then go back to New Japan. But, like, when I got the results and I refreshed, I was like, did they win by DQ? It's like I keep refreshing, going, there's no way Finjuice just won. I couldn't believe it. And yeah. But I will say there was for a second a part of me going, please don't do what Ring of Honor did. Please don't put New Japan guys constantly over your tag teams or your wrestlers just for the sake because they're New Japan guys. But they're not doing it.
I'll be honest with the history, like the history between Impact and New Japan, the bad blood that was there. That everybody knows about that history. Like that's if you've been a long-term wrestling fan, you know about this history. It's nothing new. Plus, a lot of people have been talking about it constantly since the Forbidden Door opened. But they like we've said before, they went in the locker room. They went to Okada. They went to the wrestlers that were on their roster that they wronged, and apologized to those wrestlers directly.
Yeah,
making Finjuice champions. Having them here for a little while is partially reward and partially payment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna stay, then yeah, they needed those belts.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, they couldn't have stayed after losing to the Good Brothers. It wouldn't have made sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. I really thought they were going to lose and then head back to New Japan.
In this way, they can use them on New Japan Strong while they're on Impact. Why not bolster up their American brand at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, I was watching the match and thinking they're doing a really good job of making believe Finjuice is going to win this.
Yeah.
I was watching it like, I know they're not going to win, but they've got a chance of winning, and then they win it. Like, I'm still gobsmacked now. Like,
yeah, no, I was completely shocked by it.
And Trevor, you just went to bed at this point, and I'm watching the match, and I'm like, I've got no one to talk to. What the hell? I've got to hold this in now until I know you've watched it to be able to discuss it. Like the whole time, I wanted to just message you, like, "Oh my god."
But let's just. I think one of the great things this did, and let's really be honest, Juice Robinson, when a lot of people who don't watch New Japan, who really only know him from his NXT days, they saw that, man, he's not that guy anymore. He's one of the very underrated and underappreciated wrestlers. Like, he does not get, in my opinion, enough props for what he does, and neither does David Finlay. And them as a tag team has just been very, very good. Like, they are a solid tag team.
Oh no, Finjuice kick ass. Mm-hmm. They have spent years in Japan honing their craft as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, New Japan doesn't give a team New Japan does not squander their heavyweight titles, tag team titles. The heavyweight tag team titles get given to teams that deserve it every time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
New Japan are very protective of their titles, of the lineage of their titles. So,
well, here's a question for both of you guys, and let's see how you feel. Do you guys think this is going to be a long-term reign, or do you think this was a title win to really pop for the show?
I think they get it back at Rebellion.
See, I disagree. I don't think they hold it longer than Rebellion, but I don't think the Good Brothers get it back. I think the Good Brothers go over to AEW, get the AEW Tag Team Champions, and bring them over to Impact, kind of like, you know, with the AEW title, which Kenny Omega got, you know, and then you have someone else who is purely Impact, you know, maybe Decay or something. They're the ones who beat Finjuice.
That could work.
I'm very excited with what they do. That's all I can say. I'm very excited with, you know, the fact that Finjuice won is just. I think people are still going to be like waking up, going like, "How that they actually won?"
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about Juice Robinson. He wins when he wins titles. You never think he's going to win it. Like his win against Jay White. Who really thought he was going to win that title?
He is always the underdog. Always, always, always. I've seen him defend titles as the underdog and come out on top. And I'm like, how? How, man? Like, you get that he's got that Daniel Bryan thing to him.
Mm-hmm.
That Daniel Bryan used to have. Because let's face it, Daniel Bryan doesn't have that anymore. Somebody gets in the ring with Daniel Bryan now, you're like, you're going to beat him up? Daniel Bryan's going to win? I'm excited to see what they do next with tag titles, though. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But next, the title unification match between Rich Swann and Moose for the Impact World title and the TNA Heavyweight title.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to clear up, that it's only the TNA and the Impact title that's being unified, and they're not a Rebellion. The AEW and the Impact title aren't being unified.
I told you some people were that stupid.
Like, people really thought that was happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes no sense, though.
Like, people saying, oh, you know, AEW and Impact Wrestling are going to unify their title. No, that's not been said. Did anyone fucking listen?
Like, I get it if they were saying, like, something like, if Tony, like, and I'm just going to spitball here just an idea. I'm not trying to defend people's stupidity. I'm just saying it would only work in this situation, I think, is if next month was like the very last Impact show and somehow AEW was absorbing Impact. I'd understand unifying the title then, like with, Impact with there.
Completely
but
different scenario than what's going on now.
That's what I mean. That's the only way it would make sense.
So, I was wrong. You guys were right. Swann won this match. Swann unified the titles. I'm sad that white belt... Man, why are all the companies retiring their white belts?
It's true. Intercontinental title got retired in New Japan.
New Japan just retired the Intercontinental. And here we get the white TNA strap being retired. And I'm like, I know it doesn't have anywhere near the same... Like, look. The white TNA strap is a gimmick. What the TNA title represents, I think equivalates to what the IWGP Intercontinental title equivalates legacy-wise. Say what you will, but about some of the people that Impact have put the belts on and whatever. But anyway,
I'm hoping we get a new title, the big gold belt with the Impact sign on it. Keep the white strap.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
I'll be honest. I really hate Rich Swann's copy of the belt, but it's not his fault. So
I don't like the red. I do not like the red.
I was sad when they swapped from blue to red.
Yeah.
I liked it all in blue. I liked Impact all in blue. I think the current X Division belt, but in blue, is probably my favorite belt, purely on design. Just by looking at it, it's probably my favorite belt of all time. I also really like owls, so it helps. I'm not gonna lie, having a big, badass, beautiful owl right over the X totally does that for me. I'm like, yes, I want it. Oh, if I could have any replica right now, it'd be that. But Rich Swann's title, the big gold version with the red, it doesn't have the three-dimensional pop-out feel that all the other titles had. It doesn't, look, Tessa still has that as far as I know. As far as I know, she's still in Mexico with the belt. And this is just like... if I'm not mistaken, the story was that when they were going to swap from blue to red. They got 3 different world titles made, chose the design they liked the most, and made all of the other belts to match that design afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the other 2 belts that they got made at that time. And it's sad because it's not as pretty in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have that gorgeous TNA belt in the other hand that's probably going to be gone. But I do want to see some kind of amalgamation of them.
Yeah.
It might be.
And I think they should have kept it as the TNA title on, as a second belt.
It's kind of like a legacy title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can agree. Like honestly, I really enjoy that belt. It's too beautiful to not use in some way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's sad that it's gone. I have it. It's like when the Intercontinental in New Japan was officially retired. I was like, I'm cool with it being retired. I'm cool with it being retired. And then it got retired, and I go, there's an empty ticket.
But
Jordan?
the match was awesome. I liked the match. It was good. Rich Swann and Moose really clicked, I think, for me. They really gelled really well. Even though I knew Rich Swann was going to win, I was still living by my mindset that, Moose has been there longer. He should be the guy to face Omega. But then I remember what you said, Jay, about his contract coming up. And I can understand a company having to pretty much think, okay, we need to be prepared in case Moose leaves. We don't want to have our champion, still be champion and then just vacate the title because that makes our company look weak.
Yeah.
So I understand, and this is nothing against Rich Swann. Rich Swann is a great, one hell of a wrestler. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's an awesome wrestler. It's just, I really think Moose should have been the guy, but at least I'm very, very excited to see him and Kenny Omega face each other because I think that's going to be just unbelievable how good that match could be.
It's going to be different. It's going to be very unique, for sure. When it comes to the match itself, I have I know I said earlier, I'm a storyline guy, not a spot guy. That's how good these 2 spots were. When Swann did the springboard cutter, when Moose was going up to the corner and went for a crossbody, the coordination that takes and the timing that takes to get right, and then the fall away moonsault just blew my fucking mind. That was one of the most impressive athletic feats I have ever seen in a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just terrifyingly impressive. I don't think he could pull it off on anybody much bigger than Swann, I'll be honest. Mm-hmm. But still, Omega's not that much bigger than Swann. So we'll see. Because eventually that match is coming.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen with the contract expiring, I think he's going to sign, in quotation marks, with AEW after Omega wins the Impact title. And he's going to be signing to AEW under the guise of I don't care about the AEW title. I just want that Impact belt so I can bring it back where it belongs.
Yeah.
That's what I think that would be a cool storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I see.
What you say, Jay, about the match?
Really good match. I like the bit where Moose is pulling Swann's hair from the guardrail. Around that was a good little spot that I liked. But to tell you the truth, I worry that with Omega winning because it's going to happen. Let's face it, the world title from TNA. I worry that it's going to just. Is he going to be on Impact every week? Are we going to have a champion that's only there occasionally, or is it going
to be Brock Lesnar? Pretty much.
Yeah,
you're worried. Yeah.
Look.
And then you've also got the fact that Tony Khan's saying
right. Storyline can work if you do it right.
I totally agree. It can work, but,
just not for a year.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I wanted to say about that.
And Tony Khan and Impact Wrestling, they can't come to an agreement on the fact that they don't want Kenny Omega to lose a match until he's lost the AEW title, which, if this rumor's true, it makes me worried because then you've literally got Omega, the champion. Just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I just think, again, to me, Swann is not the best world champion. There's so many more people on there that could be the world champion.
Mhm.
You know, like, I've got nothing against Swann. His title reign to me feels, I don't know, just cheap, really.
Mhm.
And this match really helped him look like a world champion.
Yeah.
But if this is my first match where I've seen him and go, okay, yeah, he's world champion worthy, is he the world champion that should be going against Amiga?
Yeah, I get you.
Maybe in a sense he is, because that means they're not sending someone that you deem to be world championship level. You're not seeing Moose lose to Omega. You're not seeing someone like Eric Young lose to Omega. You're seeing Swann, who is, like you just said, in your opinion, one of the lesser champions of the recent era.
Yeah. Also, with Swann, he bit Moose a couple of times, and it's like,
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't understand. Is this like, you know, it's like he's not a face or a heel. He's just
It's a tweener, yeah, pretty much. They're trying to, it seems like, yeah.
He doesn't do that very well. He doesn't do the middle very well.
No. Again, he should just be face, especially going up against Amiga. He should be completely face, not trying to do underhanded things where I understand he had to do what it took to beat Moose, but I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree.
So, when we go by predictions, sorry. Anything else to add, guys? Are we good?
We're good.
Well, if I can just say one thing about just one last thing about the match.
Yeah.
I just say, you know what? I completely agree with what Jay said. If this was the first match where you saw Rich Swann as the champ, he deserves it. But I completely agree. His title reign just hasn't had that magic that a title reign should have. Like, when you're the world champion, there should be that thing that people just want to watch you. And for some reason, when I watch Rich Swann as heavyweight champion, it just doesn't have it. Like, I don't know what it is. He's a great wrestler, but sometimes it just doesn't have that magic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. I really don't think it's a booking thing. I don't think it's a wrestling thing. I just think it's sometimes like I said before about TJP, X Division champion, the man makes the title or the title makes the man. And it's like the belt's trying to make Rich Swann look like the top guy. It's just not working.
I agree. I really agree with you. It's unfortunate because I do enjoy Rich Swann quite a bit.
Yeah, without question.
It's just, it's like Brian Cage's title run. It was lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that at the time I was quite happy with Brian Cage being champion, and I'm like, this is not working out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've still got resentment that Swann beat Eric Young for the title. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. But that was everything for Sacrifice. If we go by predictions, Jordan, you got 8 out of 9 matches correct on the predictions.
Boom, boom.
So you are our first predictions champion, man. And as far as I know, we have nothing before Rebellion. So you are defending at Rebellion.
I don't know who to thank, but I have someone here who can help me. He was the man who showed me that there is only a few good ways to understand booking. And I'm sorry, Trev, you're a good booker, but I need to learn from the best. I need to learn from somebody who understands what good wrestling is, because he's done it for a long time. Someone who who says what no one should ever say, which is stuff about Penelope Ford. I am talking about the greatest mind in wrestling history. Mr. Jim Cornette, please, could you explain how you gave me my picks for this match, for this card, please? All right, man, well, here's how I picked. Okay, first, Decay. I didn't see The Undertaker in this match, so I don't understand why they're called Decay, but, they were all right. The intergender match, I didn't like anybody in that match. I mean, Caleb with the K. Everybody know that Caleb starts with a C. I think that's bad grammar, and I think that's bad wrestling in the time. Violent by Design versus Chris Sabin and James Storm. Violent by Design, I did not see any designs that were violent. I did not see anything that made me say this team was violent. But, I thought their name was cool, so what the hell did put them in there? Trevor, stop laughing. You're throwing me off. Eddie Edwards versus Brian Myers, hold harmless match. I didn't see anything harmless about this match. This match was very violent. I mean, they didn't do anything that was remotely harmless. Fire and Flavor versus George Grace and Jazz, women's wrestling. Ace Austin and Matt.
Okay. Okay. That made me lose it. That was.
Ace Austin and TJP. I don't know what TJP stands for. What do you guys have to tell me? The British boy. You're good with words, even though I can't understand a damn thing you're saying. I almost lost my voice right there. Someone explain to me what the hell TJP stands for. And Deonna Purrazzo, who I thought was Italian, but apparently she is not. And ODB. What the hell does ODB stand for? One dead bimbo? Stop laughing at me. I'm happily married. And the men who get with my wife are happily happy.
Oh. That was a good one.
And Vince and the Good Brothers, Trev, you kept talking about this team being from New Japan. I'll have you know, neither one of these guys are Japanese. And then Rich Swann versus Moose. I was excited for this match. I mean, everybody knows I love Rocky and Bullwinkle, but I did not see Bullwinkle once in this match. And Rich Swann looked poor. And hey, that's not because I'm racist. Remember, I put New Jack in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and I encouraged them to hate him. But all in all, this match was great. And you know what? I forgot one more thing. The women's wrestling.
This is women's wrestling. I love that.
Thank you, Jim. You were horrible, and you should not ever be part of wrestling, and I hope Miro crushes you.
Oh, I hope Miro kicks him in the face. I see that we have a very humble champion. Great to know.
Mm-hmm.
After like a 15-minute speech.
Not me. That was Jim. That was Jim Cornette.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up with making an impact quickly. Last segment of the night. I'm going to start with my pick. I pick someone for Deonna Purrazzo to go up against next.
Ooh.
Essentially, this is what I would want. I already said that I want Jazz to go up against Deonna next, so Deonna can beat Jazz. But you have that on Impact TV building up towards Rebellion. You have time. At Rebellion, I want to see Awesome Kong.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Awesome Kong versus Deonna Purrazzo.
That would be beautiful.
She is technically still an AEW talent at the moment. She left because of Glow, and then the season got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is a huge shame. That show was great.
Outrage, man. Pure outrage about that show being canceled. I'm just going to say that. But I think Awesome Kong versus Deonna Purrazzo, that's the perfect person, short of Gail Kim, to come back and put against Deonna. And if you're going to do Gail Kim, I want more time for Gail Kim. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want more time before Gail Kim happens. But Awesome Kong would be perfect in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I love it.
It's a good pick.
Jay, your turn.
Okay, so my pick this week is going off a storyline that's already there. Okay, so Simon Miller, comes from What Culture Wrestling. Yeah. Now, if you look at What Culture Wrestling, and he's got Sami Callihan, they were meant to have a match, but COVID obviously stopped that. I want to see that match on Impact now. And the way I bring him in is I bring him into BTI and doing the top 5 week thing, and I'd have Sami Callihan just cutting promos halfway through it, saying, you know, I see you, I've not forgot, we're still going to go, you know, and then have Simon Miller essentially face Sami Callihan. That's what
I love that.
If you guys still watch Ups and Downs for Impact Wrestling, he still does it.
Yeah,
he's still doing the ICU cut-in stuff. He hasn't stopped.
Changing what the score is and stuff.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen at Pancakes and Pile Drivers for Pro Wrestling Revolver, I believe.
Yeah, the What Culture
Awesome
Wrestling.
title.
Man, that would have been great.
Mm-hmm. But bring it over to Impact.
I would love to see that in Impact. And you're right. You can use him in other aspects than just wrestler.
Mm-hmm. So my pick, I'm going to go with something that we had talked about. We had talked about how production for some of the shows has sometimes been, you know, a hit or miss. So for me, I'm going to do this strictly as just because I need to put him in there. I'm going to pick, to help run production, the greatest cameraman in the maritime wrestling history. I am, of course, talking about Harold New Scott Kennedy. The greatest, or New Scott, I'm sorry if I got your last name wrong. I always get it wrong. My bad, bud. First of all, this guy, Trev, you know how good this guy is as a cameraman. People have gotten noticed because of this guy's of his YouTube and him filming it. This guy,
story.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome too. This guy is just a wonderful person. He's just an awesome cameraman, and he knows how to make wrestling look really cool just by himself. That's the amazing thing. He literally just has a camera, like on, just there to have the wide shots, and then he just walks around, you know, filming the matches. He has a really good eye for wrestling. And I think if Impact want somebody to like really notice things about production and everything, send it to the greatest cameraman in all of wrestling. I'm sorry, I'm going to change that. Not just in the Maritimes, in all of wrestling.
No, I refer to New Scott as the maritime wrestling historian.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like he knows more about maritime wrestling than anybody I've talked to.
Mm-hmm.
And his YouTube channel, absolutely. I didn't know that there was a local scene. And then I found his channel. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I had years of wrestling I could watch right there to learn all of the local guys were, so that next time I went to an indie show, I know who everybody is. It was crazy. But
and you need that. You need that.
Yeah. No, love New Scott. Love New Scott. Love to see him work with a big promotion one day in any way. That'd be really cool.
You get hired, New Scott, you're frigging welcome. You wonderful man.
Well, everybody, that's everything for this week's Impact Wrestling. Join us again tomorrow where we will have the AEW recap for Dynamite. And please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Or else!
And have a good one.